All right.
There it is.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, we got a special guest on today here on Growth Mindset of a Champion podcast on YouTube. I'm very blessed and fortunate to have Brian Traugott, who has been the Versailles mayor here in Versailles, Kentucky for the past 11 years. And before I get Brian to comment, I just want to say, we've been very blessed just standing back and also really starting to engage more and more with the community. Myself personally, I've just seen a renaissance downtown where we've just had so many great things take place, with the community coming together with the businesses. And then we've also had some preservation projects that we've been implementing and working on. And I've just seen Woodford County, Versailles flourish here, Brian, in the last decade. And I just want to compliment you and welcome you to Growth Mindset of the Champion today.
I appreciate being here. Appreciate all you're doing. You're bringing a lot of attention on social media to the great things in Woodford County, past and present, and it's much appreciated from my seat.
Well, Brian, it's great to have you on because you bring a broad perspective, 11 years in the role of Versailles mayor, and you're always looking to bring the community together and do as much positivity as you can, to take care of the community, to protect it, to grow it. And I was very blessed to get James K on here last week, and I know you guys went to high school together, so. If you don't mind, if you could break it down, just kind of share a little bit of your background. I know you've been the mayor of Versailles for 11 years. James explained to me you all kind of went to Woodford County together. I mean, you've been through the school system here, so
Yeah,
you could share your perspective, growing up in Woodford County and what it's meant to you.
absolutely. I was born right here in what was then Woodford Memorial Hospital. So I have never in a day of my life lived outside the city of Versailles. Growing up, when I went to college, I stayed in Versailles. I've never lived outside the city. Grew up, James is a few years behind me. We went through school together. We socialized together. I went to UK, then U of L for grad school. Got a job at the Capitol working for the General Assembly. James and I shared an office there for a short period, so we really have a good working relationship history. My father was born here. Family-owned farms down on Oregon Road, way down in South Woodford, down in God's country. So spent a lot of time down there at my grandmother's, uncles, and cousins' farms. My mother went to high school here. She was actually born in Corbin, but her dad, they moved here when she was young. Her dad was fire chief for a long time in Versailles here. And so we got a little record of service in the family. But growing up here, I knew immediately this is a place that I never wanted to leave. And I've been blessed to have the opportunity not only to stay here and raise my family here. We have a young son, 6 years old. I've been married 20 years now, but to be able to improve, to do my part to improve this community where I'm planning on being until I'm not here anymore. And then when my soul goes upstairs, my body's going downstairs here. So
Right.
this is
Yeah.
where it's at.
It's pretty fascinating, Brian, because I've been doing some reflecting on Woodford County, pretty deep reflection in our Woodford County, Kentucky history site I started on Facebook, and we were up to almost 10,000. I think we passed 9,100. So it's really moved on. And, I've been doing a lot of the yearbook reflections. I went all the way back to 1927, 28, 29, when Versailles High School kicked off. And there's just a spirit about Woodford Countyans, that are, and you don't have to be born here to be a Woodford County, necessarily, because I've been here. I'm 65. I was born in Morgan County, Eastern Kentucky. Mom moved us up here when we were about 1 year old. So I've been here my 65 years and went through the entire school system like you, including Midway. So I've done it all here, as far as going from kindergarten through college, so I've been really blessed to be able to have the vision and being able to see full extent of the community, and then just be looking and being so appreciative of all the educators that's went before us. I mean, to be a school teacher and to put in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in some cases or more, and to commit to the community like that, you and I are recipients of those teachers, right, in our school system.
Absolutely.
And not only that, we're recipients of the resources that went before us, with people who were the former mayors, the former judge executives, the former people who kind of helped lead us, So it just has given me a humble reflection of what why we're here, and being humble and being appreciative. I think that opens our eyes up to be able to share in the beauty of what we have here in Woodford County. And boy, do we have the beauty. I know we got the bourbon industry right here. We've got the horse capital of the world right here, right? When you start looking at the beautiful farmland, and it's racehorses, but it's also cattle. If you look at the history of cattle, Hereford cattle, and all those things that we've had here, we've had some of the top livestock growth areas here, agriculture areas. When you start looking at hemp, I just went on a farm tour out of Versailles in Woodford County here about 2 weeks ago. It was incredible. We took a tour of a University of Kentucky has a program on one of the farms out here in Woodford County, and we got to see that firsthand with the hemp trying to come back, But the burley tobacco, if you grew up in Woodford County, you probably at one point in your life, you were in a tobacco barn, a hay field, a garden. I mean, you got your feet and your hands wet, right? And it taught me to want to go to college because I like doing both. I mean, I like working on the farm, but also like, working in a company or working for the people, right?
Yeah,
so,
air
I mean,
conditioning.
I learned hard work, and it taught me a lot about appreciating those people that work with the land. I just want you to reflect back with you, Brian, on your upbringing, because I know you're out in Woodford County, and you probably got firsthand experiences with some of that.
Absolutely. And I worked for Jesse Lane on his tobacco farm in high school for several years. He was one of the best human beings to walk. The Lane family, as I know you had Coach on here a little while ago. The Lane family is one of the greatest families to be in Woodford County. So I had the real blessing of working for him and being exposed to that work ethic and integrity. To the teachers, the teachers that impacted my life in Woodford County, it's something that's always going to stick with me. And the great thing about living in a small town like this, in a small community, I still get to interact with a lot of them. I still get to see them. I get to serve them as mayor. Sometimes I blame them for things I do wrong because either blame them or my mom.
Yeah, exactly, man. You got that. I'm with you.
Yeah. But it's been, but there has been a ton of great people in the schools, in the city governments, the county governments, business owners, citizens who volunteer. We have some of the people here who volunteer, seems like 80 hours a week. You always see them somewhere doing something, and they're not collecting a penny for it.
Right.
And I'm always grateful when I sit under that shade tree, not to be too cliched, for the people who planted that tree decades ago. We can't lose sight of that all the great things we're building on, the foundation was laid by generations before us. And that's what you do a great job of highlighting and reminding us, because you can be forward facing and also have a deep respect in preserving our history and the traditions here. And I think we've done a good job of balancing that. And it's not always an easy balance.
No, it's not, and with social media and all the things out there right now that can pull us, separate us, and divide us. I've always been so impressed with our leadership here in Woodford County, how we're always looking at how can we get better. We call this growth mindset of a champion. And I think, I know your mindset has been a growth mindset these last 11 years in this leadership role you've been in, because we've seen it firsthand. And we'll talk about a few of those things in a minute. But when you walk into the judge's office, Woodford County home of champions, right? We're a champion mindset, whether, we're going to go play a football game, whether we're going to, preserve our county park that we have, all the different things we got going on there. If we're going to do a rail to trails upgrade, right? If we're going to have farm tours, we're going to, I mean, I've just seen it just blow up to unbelievable, right? We take a lot of pride in Woodford County, and a lot of that came through the way we went through the school system. Because I remember, they didn't play in school. I mean, you showed up, you did what you're supposed to do, and we were all just a step away from not. My goal was to always get through the system, right? And you had to follow the rules. And so I learned a lot about rules and a lot about respecting people, and I took that out into the business world. And I've been very blessed, to take all that I learned through the Woodford County school system, the Midway University system, and I always come back to leadership, you know, and I always come back to who taught you. And, you know, again, I was blessed to have a strong family around me. Even though I got off to a rocky start with losing a parent and growing up in the the Oak Street projects and moved over to Willow Oaks, I got some support from Woodford County, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about, well, you know, I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you got to have some support. And I think it's important that you get that, then you can give back more to Woodford County when, you know, they help you, you help others. You know, I'm in that mindset. And at the same time, I'm all about, like we talked about earlier, about, you know, you got to have businesses in order to cover the costs of everything that we do anyway, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and so back over to you, Brian. You know, growing up and getting into this opportunity, and I know you're very passionate about it. What are some things that you're really excited and proud of in the past 11 years that you've been a part of?
Oh, my, I've been reflecting a lot on that, on what we've accomplished. And I can tell you that, speaking of a growth mindset, I will undoubtedly tell you I am a better mayor today than I was 9 years ago, 10 years ago, when when I was a know-it-all. I was a young know-it-all who realized today I did not know it all. I am a much better mayor, learning by failures as much as the successes that we've had. And we've had some failures, we've had some missed opportunities, and I'll be the first to admit it. But our successes, and I say our because it truly is, government. No organization is really set up for one person to be the, you know, you don't rise or fall on one person. If you do, the organization's really not structured that well.
Right.
But we've had the collaboration between the cities, Versailles, Midway, Woodford County, Parks Board, Tourism Commission, local businesses, volunteer groups. It is remarkable. And that's really the only reason government, we're happy if government at any level moves in makes incremental improvements, because our expectations are low. In Versailles, looking past over the past 11 years, we built a new police. Our police used to be in a building that wasn't fit to house dogs down here on Court Street. It was small, it had no technology, it wasn't comfortable. We have a great police force. They needed to be in a building that reflected that, and they are. And it's, you know, the bookend of Main Street is the new Versailles Police Department, and then we have the downtown market and entertainment district with the pavilion, the stage, the walking. To me, the walking ramp between the parking lot and Big Spring Park. To think that we've gone this long without true ADA accessibility and kind of keeping that park shoved in a corner almost as far as visibility and accessibility. The fact that we hadn't done that until now, it's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely proud of that. I'm proud. We've got some projects. We've got a standard bred training facility that's going to break ground here in the next week or two out on Paynes Mill. That's going to be a huge economic development project and give standard bred farmers, who often are in the shadow of thoroughbreds, or what we watch on TV and people are more familiar with. But standard bred's a big business, and they're going to have a home here, and they're going to create a lot of jobs and be a tourism.
Ron, where's that going to be at, the new home for that?
It's going to be kind of across from the Methodist Church on Paynes Mill, right off of US 60.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's going to be, the city owns it. It's agriculture land. This is an agriculture use, and it's going to have a training track and some stalls.
Nice.
That'll primarily be what it is. And then we've got a new distillery coming in on the other side of that property on the Crossfield Drive behind Traugott, kind of. And when you hear the word distillery, you sometimes think of the production side of it, but this is truly, it's 150 acres. It is beautiful. I'm excited to get to the point where they can share those plans, because it is a phenomenally beautiful property that's going to host events, big events. It's going to be a real addition here and grow our tax base. And to elude what you paid to earlier, when we build police stations, we're now renovating our fire station over there. We're getting ready to spend $3 million on Big Spring Park. We have our downtown improvement. That's got to be paid for.
Absolutely.
Be paid for.
Yeah.
Police salaries, and that's how you pay for them, is growing business and not only bringing in new ones, but growing the ones that are here and supporting them. And we've done a fantastic job. We have, knock on wood, we have weathered every economic downturn in the past 10, 15 years without missing a beat. Really, we survived COVID without missing a beat. We've just been fortunate. Some of our successes are, I'm not shy to say it, they're due to luck.
Yeah.
sometimes you can prepare to be lucky, and I think we've done that. So
No, I'm impressed with that. I was a recipient of a job in Woodford County right out of high school. I had a basketball scholarship. Decided to stay home and marry my beautiful bride of 43 years now, Janet Isaac Sparks. And I went right to work, and I thought I was ready to go take the world on with Woodford County High School education, and went right over to Texas Instruments, played point guard on the basketball team. They said, "What can you do?" When I went over there, and I said, "Well, I'm a pretty good basketball player." And they said, "Well, we could use a point guard. We'll find a job in here for you." So I went over there and put in 23 years and got 3 college degrees in night school. But what I learned during that whole process is the integral workings of a business. So I was able to work in just about, I worked in on the manufacturing floor, worked in the warehouse. Then I actually went into the engineering department. I got that through Woodford County High School, going through the drafting and technology department over there. That got me an entry into being, an entry job, and then I worked my way up in there, became a design engineer for the company, and they paid for my education. The reason I'm bringing that up is it was an internal Woodford County business. I was able to take my Woodford County education, go there. They paid for college as long as you had a 2.0 grade point average. And then again, the competitiveness in me came out when I got into college, and I wanted that 4.0. And so I didn't quite accomplish that. I think I got a 3.9. But the point is, Woodford County prepared me, right? And I had an opportunity to go to college and play for Bluefield College, or I could come here and get paid and get an education. So I took the route of being a Woodford County citizen in our community and giving back by working at Texas Instruments. And then they rewarded me with paying for 3 of my college degrees at Kentucky State and Midway University. Both I got degrees from. But all I'm saying there is people don't take enough advantages sometimes of Woodford County and what we offer, right? Right here in Woodford County, we have an amazing university in Midway University, and I always highlight them because they're growing. They're co-ed now. I had to go to night school. I was one of the first males to graduate there back in 2000 when they had males go there. But again, this is all integral part of how proud you and I are of Woodford County and what you can accomplish here. And then I've had opportunities to live anywhere in the world, since I got into pharmaceutical sales management, right? And I moved to Florida, but I kept my house here. And then I always came back. And I ended up moving back and staying here. I was still here half the time. And it just drew me back, man. I mean, I got down there, beaches were beautiful. I loved it. And I still wouldn't mind a condo down there, but I want to be here because this is the heart where my heart beats, right? I love the connections. I love meeting people. I love the progression of seeing the young kids develop and get into sports or go to college. I just really flourish every time I open up the Woodford Sun, that is the oldest business in the county, I believe. If you go back and follow the Chandler family, I was fortunate to go. Ben Chandler and I went to high school together. We went all the way 1 through 12 together, knew each other well. And just to see what his grandfather, his passion for Woodford County way back, in the 20s as a football coach. And then he ended up getting into politics, and, he was a governor multi times, and then went on and was baseball commissioner. There's so much we could be so proud of and display in this county too, because we got a lot, not only Chandler family, but we've got several other families that have done a lot of great things. And I think our, right now we have an amazing group where we get together and we look at past people, for Hall of Fame. Well, I'm fortunate enough to be a member of that committee now, and we're very busy. That's a busy committee. I got on it, and I realized that we're going to be very busy, but it's a rewarding thing to be able to acknowledge our past, focus on our present, and then to see where it takes us into the future. So that's one of the reasons I was so excited to be on here talking with you today, is to kind of reflect back on that. I just wanted to kind of share that example of my perspective on potentially what we have here. And I know a lot of people take advantage of it and are proud of it, right? A lot of kids, they can't wait to leave Woodford County. They want to go somewhere bigger, brighter, where the lights come on. Well, this Woodford County, Kentucky history site, a lot of them are wanting to come back now. They're reaching out to me, where can I find a house? I'd like to come home. They're in their baby boomer stage, right? And I've actually had people call me and say, I'm not a realtor, so I'll send them off to someone that is a great realtor. And you and I know we got many of them around here. but it's just cool, Brian, to see the impact that Woodford County has made on people and how they want to come back home in a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, we have a lot, and I tell people sometimes, because social media, as you referenced earlier, people are quick to point out any shortcomings or any
Right.
blemishes,
Yep.
and it's fine. I mean, we need to be aware of those as
Yep.
well. And I tell people we may not be perfect, but that's because we're not done yet. We will.
Absolutely. We're still going,
Anybody
man.
will be. We will be.
Yeah,
This is
one thing I'll say, I put the renovation project, the revitalization project up on the history, and I'm quick. I mean, I let anybody make their comments, but if it's not, if it can't be positive and it can't be productive, and if it's going to take us back, a step or two, and it gets to be too negative and the language is not good, then, basically it's right there in the rules. You get removed, and you might be able to work your way back in, but you've got to we got to be respectful. And that's what I like about the way we're progressing forward. We love ideas. I'm on the Parks and Rec board. We love people to come and sit down and talk with us and share with us where they see opportunity. We don't see a challenge, we see an opportunity, right?
yeah.
And so we love feedback. And I think feedback's really important. And again, I think this renovation project, I've heard a few people say, well, it's just not my old park. Well, I don't know if they went down there and looked or not. It is the old park. We just added some features
Yeah.
and benefits that are going to make it even better than what we had, right? Like you
Oh, yeah.
said, people in wheelchairs now might be able to move around and get around and better than they could have. Or people, as we have an aging baby boomer population, we've also got a lot of young people coming up, that are passionate about Woodford County. And I just feel that, the intent is always to have a champion mindset, a growth mindset. We're all wanting to get better, and we
Yeah.
want to take people on that journey with us. And that's something I'm very proud of, that I know that you and our leaders have been doing. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to start this growth mindset of a champion podcast, is to talk to leaders in the communities, talk to top coaches, talk to businesses, and just to see how we can get better, Brian. So
Oh,
that's why I'm
absolutely.
excited to have you on.
And I get reminded a lot on the wheelchair access that what's good for a wheelchair is good for a baby stroller. So we're talking about cradle to grave on what we try to do to
Right.
benefit these people. And listen, not everything is for everybody.
Right.
You've just got to accept that. But hopefully you do something at some point that everybody at some point can benefit from.
Absolutely, man.
And that goes with our new event space, where one thing this community has been great at for decades is having community events and really bringing people together in positive atmosphere. So I've never known in my life, you've been here longer than me, I've never known a bit of trouble to come from one community event we have ever had in this area. They're all positive. They're all well received by people. And now that we have this event space where we're up in our programming, we're doing more things. We realize that not everybody wants to come down and maybe have a sip of beer and listen to music, which will happen. We have a block party tonight.
Right.
There'll be good entertainment down there, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine.
Yep.
I'm hoping we're going to have offerings from the library for children. Story time. I hope we have theatrical art. We got a great theatrical arts program. I hope we have some outdoor performances down there. Hope we have storytelling time.
I loved your ideas on that outdoor performance, because not everyone can get over to Falling Springs and get a seat in there, to see a play. I'm gonna be the first to tell you that's something I want to do, because I haven't experienced that yet, and I want to do that. And I can purchase my ticket and get over there and do that. And I just got to get myself in the mindset to grow a little bit more in that area and get over there, because I've been to a few plays in Lexington, right? And I love live plays like that. I think they're really cool, but that might be something that we could do to get the public to come together and be able to take that in. And it could change lives, where you might have a youngster out there that might be coming from a background. I didn't get my first bicycle till I was like 14 or 13. I had to work on a farm to earn it, being in the project area. You didn't get, you just didn't have the money, man. It motivates you, though. It teaches you about community, right? And I see the full spectrum, of what all that is about, because I got to experience it firsthand. All the talented, brilliant, smart people we got in Woodford County, and they're on different sides of tracks. Okay. And just knowing a lot of people that have went on to be really successful. And I talked to a lot of them today a lot of them came from, Oak Street, where we got some government support, right?
Yeah.
And that's the cool part when you open a book up, and when you look at technology and you want to grow and learn and develop, there's nothing can stop you if you have a growth mindset, a champion mindset, right? I think a lot of people, a lot of us who were athletes took it all out on the sports field, right? But you can apply, that competitive spirit and put it into anything you want to put it in, right? And be an asset to those around you. And that's what I see a lot of people in Woodford County doing, which inspires me every day. And when I see, what's going on here. So back to what you were saying on the renovation project about the park and about getting some plays and getting some other or shifting our mindset to grow it for everyone. There's going to be some hiccups in there, but you got to take some risks in order to receive the rewards, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We can't let the fear of failure
right.
uh, keep us from trying anything. We're going to have some events that are going to flop. I feel quite confident. We're going to have
Yeah,
events that
that's
are going
part of
to
the growth
work.
mindset because
Yeah.
I knew, when I moved into, I'm going to throw this back again because it's in my DNA. When I moved in at 6 years old over there, I didn't know how to dribble a basketball, but I couldn't even hardly get picked. But by the second or third year, put the work in, and then by the fourth or fifth year, I'm captain. I'm picking the teams. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Oh
But
yeah.
you earn that. You got to go put the work in. You got to fail. You got to, and then people recognize that effort that's going into it and they want to be on your team, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I see going on here is we ought to come together and want to be on each other's team and try to lift each other and support each other and help each other because pointing out, it's great to point out how we can get better, but bring a solution with you. You know, I'm a big one because I'm into management and I have some really world-class sales teams. I've been very blessed, but my mindset is, I want to get the right players on the team, get them in the bus, get them on the right seat of the bus, and get the bus going in the right direction, right? Because our intent is to help everybody get better, help everybody reach their potential, everybody achieve their goals in life, right? And what better place to do it than Woodford County?
I don't know if you've seen, we did a series of videos a few years ago through our Choose for Sales program. The first one was entitled "It All Starts Here," and I'm going to have to send it to you because it ties in a lot of what you're talking about. It's the video a montage of a young child starts out on a bike, gets inspired watching a movie,
Yep.
ends with him on the theater. It is theater here in Versailles. It's a fantastic
Yeah,
video.
it's very motivational to hear that because I was fortunate enough, we had an Apollo Park over there when I was
Oh yeah,
growing up as a kid. I moved away when I was about 13, 14. But I always go back. I mean, even today, every month or two, I'll get in my car and drive over there and circle and look at the kids and reflect. That's where I grew up, take a lot of pride in that. Then I go over to Marywood. That was my first house my family bought. Then I took a lot of pride in that, right? And then I started looking at Huntertown Road. I purchased a home over here and I've been very blessed. I know the path and the roadway to success, and it comes from you taking ownership of what you can do for your development. Take advantage of your teachers, get mentors, uh, go and set in on meetings, get to know the people in the community and try to bring some value in when you come. And then always look at mentor mentee. The mentor, it's great to have the mentor, but the mentee can come with something as well to the mentor. And then the mentor and the mentee kind of grow together, right? And I just
absolutely.
think that mentor mentee aspect is where sometimes in schools, it sometimes is missing. And I think our teachers fill that void a lot. I had Bill Bland, Coach Bland. He was in the school system for years,
Oh yeah,
and he was a smart man. He was my freshman coach. We had Bill Hill, Coach Kirk, great guys, basketball. And then track, Coach Hilton Staggs for me, was just a mentor, means the world to me. But, we've got a lot of athletes that came out of Woodford County, but then we got a lot of people who went on to have stellar careers in academia, right? That have done amazing things. And, we can give that back to the community. People that got into the arts and acting and all that, they can come back to the community and give some of that back, you know. Like you, someone who grew up in Woodford County and right away knew you wanted to be a part of that and you wanted to do what it took to get yourself prepared through your growth champion mindset, get in a position to give more back to Woodford County. So I just see it all coming back full circle. And it sounds like you guys have kind of an initiative that you're kind of starting up or looking through the lens of a child and then being able to put that into perspective to help others realize it is a journey, but it's very doable if you have people who believe in you and you believe in yourself. And, to me, it's faith, family, community. Those three things drive just about everything. And your community, in my case, no father, my father was my community. All the teachers, male, female, people reached out, that people supported me. And again, that's the driving me to want to give some of that back, because I've been blessed with a lot of, I've just been really blessed with a lot of success. Just starting this podcast up, I put hours in on doing this, but I do it because I think if it can open up a door for somebody or get somebody motivated to want to be better or do more in the community or in their job or whatever they want to pursue. You just think about it. If you take 10,500 people in Versailles right now, our population, and everyone is trying to get better and help each other grow and develop and learn from one another, and look at our history and know that we can get better, right? We've made a lot of strides. We're, like you said, we're not done yet, right? And I think that's a great motto for Woodford County at Versailles. We're working on this. We're action in progress, and we have a champion mindset. We're supporting each other, and I think it's great to build on what we have.
We have a lot to celebrate here, and I think you've touched on it. The people here, that's what makes a community, are individual people put
Yep.
together. And it's a community, whether it's a city, it's a neighborhood, it's a house, it's a school, it's a community. And I'm biased and you're probably biased, but
Yeah, because we know, right now we're only like 1 degree or 2 degrees from touching just about everybody in the community. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we all, have someone that we know that knows somebody who knows somebody, right? So that's, one of the reasons you want to, be respectful and treat others and help others and not get caught up and divided, because at the end of the day, I think we all have the same intent. We want to be safe. We want to be successful. We want to grow. We want to get better. We want to develop. And what better place to do it than Woodford County?
yes, and we have the community, the people here are so supportive. They're supportive when you're doing well. They're supportive when you're not doing well. And God forbid we have tragedies and hard times befall families here. This community rallies around like none I've ever seen. And I know a lot of small towns are filled with kind-hearted people. I'm certainly not dismissing any other city or county, but we just seem to have an overabundance of it. When we were having problems, when we were having social unrest, whether it be political, whether it be racial, you didn't see that in Woodford County. We had discussions, we had tough discussions. We certainly have people on different opinions on these various issues, but we didn't have the first problem come from it.
Well, we listen, we try to help, we support. I always believe everyone is entitled to, my God, their opinion, their perspective. That's what makes it a melting pot of a success, right? And we have to have open minds, and we have to see things through different lenses. And that goes on one side to the other, or the other side to the other, right? It's 360-degree perspective, and I think we can sometimes agree to disagree. That's okay, because we're probably never going to agree 100%. But if we go back to our principles and our intent is to help, support, listen, that's the key to the thing, I believe, at the end of the day. And I think we do our best to do that. And for what you guys, when I say you guys, you gals have been through, when you look at going through, the COVID, going through some unrest overall within the U.S. And I'm sure we're going to have more challenges in the future and tremendous opportunities, right? But it's going into it with that open growth mindset of togetherness and we and one, and just continue to take it forward. And Brian, I want to thank you for being on today, man. And we can do it again sometime as we progress through the progress that we're making. But I know you were grateful enough to get on here for a few minutes and have a little chat. Brian, is there anything else that you want to share with us that you're passionate about?
No, I think one thing that I've always been passionate about, I'm a government guy. My pre-mayoral job was in government. And I think I'm hoping kids, when they look at role models, I'm not necessarily saying me, I hope they look at how we do things on the local level and not how we do things on the national level, where compromise is a four-letter word.
Yeah.
James and I,
And that's one thing, Brian, I'll just say, just my little perspective and what, gosh, we all got them. But I just feel like that, you know, I think sometimes we're too quick and harsh to judge with all the media going on. Because if you turn it on Fox or you turn it on CNN, and I'm just being in the middle,
yeah,
you can go either side, and it's all as though we lose energy, we lose hope. And, I just think there's so much hope. There's so much opportunity. And, you know, at the end of the day, again, I think people really do want to be safe. People want an opportunity to be recognized. People want to be a part of the process, and people want to raise their families, and they want to support each other. At the end of the day, I think that we all have pretty much similar intents. Sometimes it just gets a little to one side, and that's okay. That's part of the process too, to learn and grow. So I always try to look at this thing and not go too crazy, either way. But at the end of the day, just have an open mind and realize, we're together, and it's okay to be different and think different and express your opinions different. But you just got to be willing to be open minded to hear the other different, because it may not all be the same thinking. That was just part of growing up and going through the system. That's what I learned is I'm not always right. And, I've even had teachers that have come up and said, maybe I had a perspective on that. I need to go back and reflect back on that again, you know, and that's just at the end of the day, we all want to be the best we can be, and grow together, and have that growth mindset and the champion mindset. And at the end of the day, we'll be better for it, because um, I would tell you, we got some amazing people, regardless of where they went to school, regardless of what they've accomplished up to this point in their life. We all impact each other, we all help each other, and we all support each other. And I may be dreaming a little bit here, but I've seen it work, and it's worked for me. And I'm not saying I'm anything special. I'm not. I've had the hard knocks. I mean, I've been in the barns and on the tractors. I've done the night school for 20 years. I've grew up with one or two pair of jeans getting through school, and had to get out and fight. I'd had to get the needle and thread out to fix something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Didn't get that 10-speed bike that had all the gears on it, but you know what? I've made up for it, because I'm not going to let that stop me. It's not where you start. It's how you take advantage of the resources around you. And at the end of the day, it's kind of where you finish. And I'm not saying I'm anything special, because I'm still growing. I've challenged myself to try to get a little better every day. Brian, if you think about it, 365 days in a year, if we just get a tad better every day, can you imagine the growth impact that has on us and how we can touch others with that?
oh yeah,
Right? And then you take 10,500 people in Versailles that are all trying to reach out and support, offer encouragement, and lift each other up, because we're all going to get knocked down sometime or another. We're going to lose a family member. We're going to get that phone call. It's the heart. It's cancer. I got one of those calls this year. It can be tough, but at the end of the day, when you've got support around you, and you really genuinely care about people, and you try to have an open mind to listen to others, you can't help but grow and get a little better every day, right? So, hey man, I appreciate you hopping on.
thank you.
What's we got a big festival tonight in Woodford County, right? Versailles,
Yeah,
I
we've
guess.
got a BMA block party tonight. It's going to be some live music and some food and drink vendors. So
That's good.
everybody to come on down, relax, and have a good time.
And then we got a Twilight. Do we do the festivals? Like, is that monthly, or is it how's
We
that
have
scheduled
to
out?
Twilight Festival will be in September, and
Okay.
it's big downtown, 100 plus vendors.
Okay.
That's a big deal every time. So we'll have that next month. We're doing some small events down here. We're doing some Thursday night concerts.
Oh, that's cool. Is the concerts getting ready? When are they kicking in? Like,
We've
is that
had
going to be
two
down
now.
at where we've got that where we got the stage completed?
they'll be on the next Thursday, August 22nd.
Okay.
Kyra Waits is going to be performing down there from American Idol.
Oh,
Season
wow.
22 contender.
Is that going to be open to the public, or how's that work?
Everything we do down there is free and open. And
That is awesome. Yeah.
What we wanted to do. We wanted to be, if nothing else, we wanted that to be for everybody.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to those, and I'm sure the community will as well, and we'll get the word out on those to help support you. And again, I'm getting ready to get Emily on here. Emily Downey, she's going to jump on with me next week. I think next Wednesday we'll do one, and we'll kind of, look at the, I know in her role down there, she's on Main Street and she does a lot of the tourism stuff too. She's bringing a lot of events and ideas, and I know she's involved with a lot of things, but she's got tremendous passion about Woodford County as well. So we're lucky to have so many passionate people who have been engaged and grew up here that have great ideas, and I think we got a bright future. So, hey, Brian, thank you, my friend, for being on. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Okay.
You too. We'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.